You might think, what if I fall? Well, what if you don't? What if you fly?
Hello and welcome to Amazing English with Andrew. I'm your host, Andrew. Today, in episode number 3, we will talk about being productive. At the end of the episode, we will do a point of view story. You can find the transcript for today's episode in the description. What does productive mean? Productive means getting a lot of good things done in a short amount of time. It means working well and making good use of your time. Many people try to be productive, but it can be very hard for many reasons. You might be easily distracted. Things like phones, TV, and noise can take away your attention from being productive. You might lack motivation or interest. Sometimes people don't feel interested or excited about what they need to do. Or maybe you have trouble finding the time to be productive. It can be hard to plan your time so that you can be productive. This is where having a good routine can help. What is a routine? A routine is a set of things you do regularly in the same way at the same time. It's like a plan or a schedule that helps you stay organized. Here's how a simple morning routine might look. Wake up, brush your teeth, eat breakfast, get dressed. I often try to have a very productive morning routine. For my productive morning routine, I try to wake up every day at around 5 a.m. It helps me to have more time in the morning to do the things I need to do, especially since I don't often want to do them. After I wake up, I like to make myself a cup of coffee. If you remember from the last episode, I love coffee. I then sit down and practice my Mandarin Chinese while I drink my coffee. After about 20 minutes of practice, I clean up my house for 45 minutes. It might be washing the dishes. It might be vacuuming or picking things up and putting them away where they belong. Whatever needs doing around the house, I try to do it as early as possible. I don't want to worry about them later. Cleaning the house is not something I like to do, but I need to do it. So I try not to worry about it later in the day when I get home from work and just want to relax. After I clean my house for 45 minutes, I drive to the gym and do cardio exercise for 30 minutes. It is a type of exercise that gets your heart pumping. Some people like to run for their cardio. Some people like to ride a bicycle. I like using the machines at the gym so I can have my tablet in front of me and study languages while I exercise. It makes the hard exercise more fun for me. It's also a good way to achieve both of my goals, studying languages and staying healthy at the same time. After the gym, I'm always very sweaty, and I don't want to smell bad, so I take a shower and get dressed for work. After my shower, I make breakfast and pack a lunch for work. After eating breakfast, I drive to work, and my morning routine is finished. It is complete. As you can maybe tell, I enjoy being productive. I think it's a great way to make sure you are making the day as good as it can be. I like to be productive, but it's important to let yourself have fun as well. I think being too productive can be a bad thing. People need time to relax, have fun, and most importantly, play. Play is something we think only kids do, but adults need time to play too. This could be playing sports. It could be having fun with friends. It could be watching a movie or playing video games. Play is important for living a happy and full life too. So while being productive is great, I try to make sure I let myself have fun too. And now it's time for our point of view story. Today's story is about Sarah, who is a very productive woman. If you don't understand some words, don't worry. Just follow the story as best as you can. Sarah is a very busy woman. She wakes up early every morning and works all day. She never stops to rest. Sarah loves to be busy. She thinks if she works hard, she will be happy. She has a good job, a nice house, and lots of money. But something is missing. One day, Sarah's friend Emily comes to visit. Emily is always happy and full of energy. She asks Sarah, "Why do you work so hard all the time? You never have fun." Sarah says, "I have to work. There's always so much to do." Emily smiles and says, "Life's not just about work. You need to play too. Come with me to the park." At first, Sarah does not want to go. She has so many things to do. But Emily keeps asking, so Sarah says yes. When they get to the park, Sarah sees children playing, people laughing, and everyone looks so happy. She feels a little strange because she's not used to this. Emily takes Sarah's hand and says, "Let's swing on the swings." Sarah waits for a moment, but then says yes. She sits on the swing and starts to move back and forth. At first, she feels silly, but then she starts to laugh. She feels the wind in her hair and the sun on her face. She has forgotten how fun it is to play. After the park, they sit on a bench and watch ducks in the pond. Sarah has not taken the time to do something simple like this in years. She always thinks it's a waste of time. But as she watches the ducks swim and listens to the birds sing, she feels how nice it is to enjoy something peaceful. Sarah thanks Emily for showing her how important it is to play. She sees that life is not just about being busy, and it's also about having fun and enjoying the little things. From that day on, Sarah makes time to play in her life. She still works hard, but she also makes the time to relax and have fun. She goes to the park, plays games, and even paints. Sarah is still busy, but now she is also happy. She learns that life is a balance between work and play, and that makes her life much better. Now let's listen to the same story, but this time I will tell it in the past tense. Try and pay attention to how the story changes, and try and follow along as best as you can. Sarah was a very busy woman. She woke up early every morning and worked all day. She never stopped to rest. Sarah loved to be busy. She thought if she worked hard, she would be happy. She had a good job, a nice house, and lots of money. But something was missing. One day, Sarah's friend Emily came to visit. Emily was always happy and full of energy. She asked Sarah, "Why did you work so hard all the time? You never had fun." Sarah replied, "I had to work. There was always so much to do." Emily smiled and said, "But life is not just about work. We need to play too. Come with me to the park." At first, Sarah did not want to go. She had so many things to do, but Emily insisted, so Sarah agreed. When they got to the park, Sarah saw children playing, people laughing, and everyone seemed so happy. She felt a little strange because she was not used to this. Emily took Sarah's hand and said, "Let's swing on the swings." Sarah hesitated, but finally agreed. She sat on the swings and started to move back and forth. At first, she felt silly, but then she started to laugh. She felt the wind in her hair and the sun on her face. She had forgotten how much fun it was to play. After the park, they sat on a bench and watched the ducks in the pond. Sarah had not taken the time to do something simple like that in years. She always thought it was a waste of time. But as she watched the ducks swim and listened to the birds sing, she felt how nice it was to enjoy something peaceful. Sarah thanked Emily for showing her the importance of play. She realized that life was not just about being busy, it was also about having fun and enjoying the little things. From that day on, Sarah decided to make time for play in her life. She still worked hard, but she also made the time to relax and have fun. She went to the park, played games, and even took up painting. Sarah was still busy, but now she was also happy. She learned that life was a balance between work and play, and that made her life much better. Thank you for listening to today's episode about being productive. Do you consider yourself a productive person? Or is being productive something you have trouble doing? Remember, you can find the transcript and more in the description. See you next time.